Today we're going to look at the 2016 election if all third-party voters had voted for Hillary Clinton. So essentially we're going to take all those Gary Johnson, Jill Stein type voters, and then we're going to land them in the Hillary Clinton column and see which states flip from red to blue, because none of these states obviously would flip from blue to red because we are just adding votes to the Democratic side. And I was originally going to do a prediction just allocating half of Gary Johnson's voters to Clinton and half to Trump, and then all of Jill Stein's voters to Clinton, but the result would be pretty similar, and there were some other third-party candidates that I did not include when I started researching that, so I decided to do what happens if all third-party voters go to Clinton, and then there will also be another video out either before or after this one, because I upload them at the same time, and just whatever everyone drops first will be if all third-party voters go to Trump in 2016, so it should be pretty interesting. The map does look a tad different than what we might expect, but also keep in mind, in 2016, a lot of you do know this, but also I should keep reminding you, states like Ohio and Iowa were safe Republican, based off like 8% or more is what I would consider safe as of now. Before it would have been 15% or more, but right now, I don't see that drastic of a swing on our modern political landscape. So Ohio and Iowa, if anything, they're likely for the Republican Party. These were not close states, and also it's something to note that Iowa has a governor's race coming up in 2018 that the Democrats currently are the favorite to win, and not based off me, based off a couple other ratings and some opinion polls. And Ohio, actually, the Democrats are favored to win both the Senate and the governor race here based off opinion polls. So when we look at a number of these swing states that Donald Trump did pretty well in, phenomenal to say the least, and we look at these states in 2018, it's not to do anything with this video. I'm getting a little bit off track here, but just keep an eye on a number of these states. I didn't realize I knew before that Donald Trump did phenomenal in a number of these swing states, but I did not realize the full effect of his victory. And it shouldn't be something that Democrats should laugh about either. But we look at this map. Not a lot is changing except for a couple swing states. All of these states that are flipping were considered swing states at one point or another. And, of course, those 3 Rust Belt states are flipping from red to blue, as you might expect. But, again, we'll go through all the states that aren't going to flip. So, Rust Belt. Northeast, of course, the Northeast isn't flipping. That 2nd district was double digits for Trump, not flipping at all, even if you added third-party voters, for obvious reasons. Pennsylvania, actually, we'll come back to, but you know how that one lands. Virginia still goes to Clinton. South Carolina, I'm going to leave out all the toss-up states for right now. Arizona, sorry, not Arizona. Why did I say Arkansas? Missouri, Indiana, still Republican states. We go over just up across the not Nevada. And Nevada would go blue. Colorado, of course, New Mexico goes blue. Now we're at the Clinton margin. Nebraska, except for that 2nd district, we'll come back to Kansas, Oklahoma, and we've pretty much left out all the swing states. Sorry, not West Virginia. I can't believe I forgot that one. But when we come down to it, again, I said those 3 Rust Belt states were flipping. So those 3 Rust Belt states, if you add all the Jill Stein and Gary Johnson and other third-party voters to Clinton, she wins. So it puts her at 278 electoral votes. But let me just put Trump up here because it doesn't have a Clinton option. She's not on the list, obviously, but she is at 278 electoral votes. Trump is at 120. So right now we finished Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. But Ohio and Iowa, like I said before, aren't flipping. Trump was able to win those over 50%, which means there is no possibility of it flipping, and by considerable margin. So even if you did add third-party voters, Trump would still do very well there. We go over to Texas. That's another state that isn't going to flip. So that one goes to Donald Trump. But we go down to the Sunshine State, Florida goes to the Democratic Party. Just flips just if you add those third-party voters, along with the state of Arizona, which is pretty surprising considering Iowa and Ohio did not flip, but Arizona was able to flip. So it was pretty interesting seeing an Arizona blue and these states red, considering that Obama won these states and lost Arizona. But that puts the Democrats at 318 electoral votes. We go over to Georgia. Trump would still be able to carry the state of Georgia, but North Carolina actually goes to the Democrats, which is also something that is pretty interesting. Not really the map we normally see when it comes down to the electoral map with states like Arizona and North Carolina blue, but states like Ohio and Iowa red. We go over to Nebraska's 2nd district. Clinton would have won that. That race was actually, I believe, 49 to 47. Pretty closer than you might expect, closer than 2012, obviously. What was interesting here was there actually a House Representatives race here, and the Democrat lost, but Hillary Clinton outperformed Obama's margin in 2012. So that was pretty interesting to me. It might have just been the factor of the incumbency and a whole new wave for Republicans, but Democrats did typically do pretty well in House elections during presidential election years. So that puts the Democrats at 334 and the Republicans at 198. This is the biggest shocker but also not really because of Evan McMullin. Utah goes to Hillary Clinton if you take away the third-party voters from Evan McMullin and give them to Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump won this state by 45. Sorry, he won with 46, I guess, rounded percent of the vote, which means that if you add the third-party voters, Evan McMullin, I believe, got, 21%. Gary Johnson got a couple other percent. I don't remember the margin. And I believe Hillary Clinton got around 27%. So Evan McMullin almost did as good as Hillary Clinton, and if you add those two numbers together, it is greater than 45, and then you add in all the rest of the votes, still greater than 45. So finishing off this electoral map, we have 340 electoral votes and 100 for Hillary Clinton, 198 for Donald Trump. So go ahead and look for the video. If all the third-party voters go to Donald Trump, you should see a couple more states flipping. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.